welcome back. This is day 4 of our 5 days of workouts. So today we're going to focus on the B's. We're going to call this the triple B. We're going to focus on the butt, also known as gluteus maximus, minimus, and medius, but we'll say butt. We're also going to focus on the biceps, and we're going to focus on the back region. Okay, so we've got it set up to do 15 repetitions of each circuit or group of exercises. So we'll have, as usual, a lower body segment or something for the butt, and then we're going to have something for the back, and then we'll have something for the biceps. 15 reps, 15 reps, 15 reps. Okay, so you'll be done 45 reps, and then you move on to the next circuit of exercises or next round. Then you go on to your third. Now I set up for 3 sets of exercises, and then once you go through, you can go back to the beginning and do another round. Or as an option, if I was at the gym or if I was training a client, I'd have them do the 3 sets of exercises. So the one for the butt or glutes, the one for the back, biceps, and then go right back to the beginning. That way we don't have to change equipment multiple times. That's also another option. Either way, I'm going to show you those sets of exercises and walk you through it. And yeah, so let's go ahead and get started. So for the glutes or the butt, the first set we're going to do, and I've done squats before, but I want to show you, it's squats, but I want to show you what's called a squat drop. And so basically what that means is you're going to drop, we're going low. However, if you suffer with a little bit of back issues, if your glutes are weak, and you can't quite get the form, in other words, you can't keep your knees behind your toes, watch your depth, okay? So you're going to want to add resistance to this. However, if the squat alone is difficult enough, then don't add the resistance. So I'm going to add a fairly good sized weight plate to this, and I'm going wide, because as I'm wide, allow me to drop deeper, okay, in general. So always remember, roll your shoulders back in these squats, go wide, toes slightly turned out. It'll help to protect your knees. And then you're going to squat drop. So it looks like this. So I'm going deep. Look at this. You want to be sitting deep. And if you want, put that booty back more, but just make sure your chest stays up and you sit deep. And then you're going to come up. So imagine doing the depth of these squat drops 15 times. They are going to burn. If your knees are feeling a little off, check your stance, make sure joints are over joint, and maybe you just don't go as low. Maybe this is your depth, and that's okay. All right, so just keep in mind, chest up. What I don't want to see is you down like this, because we're not doing a squat anymore. Keep the chest up and sit into it, okay? So that's a squat drop. So you're going to do 15 of those. And then for your back exercise, let me put this back. So for your back exercise, we're going to do some lat pull downs. Very, very difficult exercise to do at home because typically your latissimus dorsi, responds mostly from this action, this pulling down. So you've got to have a lever up there or something, or your resistance has to come from above in general. So I'll show you how to do this. So you're going to grab with this one. It is important that you are going to need a resistant band for this one. The options are limited when it comes to working with your lats, okay? There are some other fun ones you can do, but this is my favorite one. So I'm going to grab the resistance band, and I'm going to go ahead, get the grips out of the way. And I'm going to grab somewhere in the center, and I'm looking for there we go, good size resistance on each side. So this is the way you're going to do a lat pull down using resistant bands. You're going to put your arms up, okay? Get those ropes out of the way. And as usual, if you notice, I'm not just standing here. I've got my knees bent slightly, a little bit loose. My core is engaged and my shoulders and chest are back. Okay, so from here, what you want to do is you want to mimic that lateral pull down, and you're going to go like this, okay? So when I do that, instantly my muscles are like shaking, and then I'm going to come up. You're not going to get a big bend, but you will feel the back muscles pull, and your shoulder plate will come together. Okay, so I'm going to pull down, hold for a second, and release. Pull down, hold, look at the shaking. Because my muscles are like, this is inconsistent resistance. And I've got to really focus on keeping it solid. Whereas if I was at the gym and using a pull down, it'd be a little bit easier and I wouldn't be as shaky on this, okay? So that's how, so I'll show you from the side, is I'm pulling and releasing, and I'll show you from the back. Pull, shoulder blades come together, and release. You're gonna feel that. You should feel that pull and release. Okay, so that's how that pull down using resistant bands. Okay, so we've done the butt, the back. Now let's do the biceps. So I've lined up a chair. If you have a folding chair, not the best option. You want a nice stable chair that's not going to fold on you for this. So I've got this chair here. What I've done is I've lapped, okay, depending on how long, because there's shorter resistant bands and longer. I've got the longer ones. So I've gone and wrapped it around the center of the chair 2 or 3 times. And now I brought it to the outside, okay? So you've got to stabilize. If I go to pull, not only will the chair move, but it might flip up. So I'm going to place my foot on the chair to make it stable. I'm going to push it back a little, okay? I'm going to push it back far enough that now my arms are extended, okay? So now, little soft knee. Again, no locking. Soft knees, chest up, core tight. And we're going to do bicep curls that are going to extend that bicep longer. Look at that process there. So now I go to curl. Hang on, adjust my, there we go. Curl and release. Now, if you notice, I don't drop these down. I keep my arms up, and I curl and release, okay? So as I'm sitting here doing this, not only do I feel my biceps, but I feel my shoulders activating to support this. And my supportive base leg with that little bend, starting to feel a little something going on too. So partway through 15 reps, you could switch the legs if you wanted to, especially if that base leg is starting to burn, okay? So there's our extended bicep curls, okay? And then that's your first circuit. So 15 of the squat drops. You got 15 of those lat pulls and 15 bicep curls. You could go right back around and do 2 or 3 sets and then move on. For time, I'm just gonna move on to the next set of exercises. Today, I didn't throw in the cardio segments between. If I was training with a client and their goal was weight loss and endurance, then I would probably throw it in. But today, we're just gonna focus on getting that nice muscle burn. You're still going for endurance in the muscle because we've got high repetitions, and we're still gonna get muscle hypertrophy because of the high repetition and burn. When it does start to fatigue at the 15 rep range, you're doing it right. If you're not getting the burn, you might wanna increase your weight or increase those reps. Totally up to you. Okay, so the next set of exercises is going to be, we're gonna do glute kickbacks with a little bit of a weight or something behind our knee. We're gonna do seated rows, and then we're gonna do an alternating bicep sort of concentration curl, okay? So I'm gonna get down, I'm gonna grab my resistance and bring it down to the floor. I'm gonna move this out of the way. Okay, we don't need that right now. Okay, so for the glutes, you can either choose a weight, stick behind your knee, but it's really about activating the glute and a little bit of the hamstring. So I'm gonna choose this nice flexible bender ball to put behind my knee because that'll work too. Squishy ball, whatever you want, throw it on behind there. So I'll show you how to do this. I'm gonna put this down because I'm gonna need this for exercise too for that seated row. So I'm gonna go down to the ground. A mat's a great idea. Especially if your knees don't like the hard floor. If you're already on carpet, you might be fine. So I'm gonna come down to the floor. Okay, I'm going into that all 4 tabletop position. I'm gonna go ahead and put that bender ball behind my knee, and I've got to now flex to keep it there, okay? Core tight, everything neutral in line. I'm gonna kick these back, okay? So if I'm going 15 times, you are gonna feel that. If you wanna split them, well, 15 and a half would be tricky, so maybe 8 and 8 for 16, that's totally fine. Then you would switch and do the other side, okay? Pretty simple, but you want to keep your glute initiated. This is not a horse move. This isn't a, no, core tight, initiate that glute. Your back will sway a little bit because it will activate a bit, but you want to make most of it coming from the glute, okay? Let's get rid of that. So let's go into those seated rows. You're going to come down to the floor. So you'll see here, I've got a longer resistant band, so I really have to like loop this a couple times at least. So I'm going to bring this around. Let's test, yeah. Let's go one more time. And it gets a little tricky to adjust this, so I go one more time around, and then quick adjustment. So even I've got to adjust this here. There we go. Resistance is the same. Okay, a little bend or straight out. I don't want to see you lock your knees. Soft knees. Lean back, core engaged. Now your movement is going to be now pulling your shoulder blades together in the back. So I'm going to go pull and release. Let me adjust my tension. There you go. Pull and release. Pull and release. So I'm getting that nice tight pull and hold and release. I love holding on this movement because then you can feel the activation in your back, okay? So let me untie myself. So that's your seated row. And now we're gonna do alternating bicep concentration curls. So I'm gonna grab the same rope. Here we go, okay? And now with these ones, depending on the resistance that you have, I always need to really give myself good resistance for this one to feel it. So look how much slack there. I'm in the middle I'm giving. Make sure I'm on the floor so I pull and don't pull myself up. That might be a little too much. We'll see for the day. Okay, so I'm like this. Now I'm gonna bend a little bit, okay? I could sit on a bench too, but then you're working with that. So from here, gonna get my knees out of the way. Gonna go wide. Look here. Curl. Curl. Oh, I give myself way too much resistance on that one. Barely curling it. So you make your adjustment. It's totally cool. Here we go. That's better. Curl. So what I'm doing is I'm curling in and I'm scooping under. Now my back is neutral, but also working at the same time. My core is tight. I'm not chilling. Take that core, strong. Curl under. I always like to turn scoop under. Scoop under. Keep your palms facing up. Don't start this, don't start that. Keep them strong. Don't arch your palms, just like that. Okay, nice concentration curl. So there you go. Okay, so again, glute kickbacks, right? Seated row, inner concentration curls. That's your set 2, 15 each. Do multiple sets in a row and then move on, or however you want to do this. Okay, final set. This is going to be a lunge back, a reverse lunge to lift. I'll show you. We're going to do a back extension on a ball. You can also do it on the floor and do some super bands. Just be careful, I'll show you the option. And external curls. Okay, so here we go. So I'll place this kind of out of the way for a moment. Let's start. I'm going to need some room here for the lunge kickbacks. Okay. You're going to do a reverse lunge. I'll show you with this leg, stepping back and then lifting. You've got to remember your core. You've got to lift from the glute. Again, we're not horses. We're not going to yee-haw and kick our leg. It's supported and strong. And it's also a leg lift, not a leg kick. Okay. So I lunge back, and from here, I'm going to lift. Place back, lift. Place back, lift. Place back, lift. You're going to feel that glute tighten up. Awesome. Okay, so try them. 15 on one side and then switch. But if you're finding it too challenging, then maybe you can split in half, turn to a 16 rep, because 15 and a half, not even. So 8 and 8 maybe. You could do that too. Okay, so that's your reverse lunge to a lift. Now we're going to do a back extension on a ball. Now, I say this carefully. If you're going to use the ball, you've got to prop yourself up against something. I'm going to use my sturdy dresser here. It's going to make some noise. That's good. You can prop your leg against a wall for support, because without that support, your feet are going to slide and you're going to feel really unstable. If you don't have a ball and you don't have something to prop back, I'll show you an option here in a second. So I'm going to grab my stability ball. I'm kind of up here. So you want this, when you go to lay on it, because we're going to lay on it, you want it to be right in your, it's going to, right there, but you're going to be kind of just on your pelvis area, lower belly, and then you're going to extend back. So if I get on here like this, I'm going to kneel down, get into my pelvis area, okay? Then from here, I'm going to lean forward, nice stretch, and then I'm going to tighten up, extend. Not only are you going to feel your back work, lower back, but this is a double glute thing. You're going to feel your butt work too. Down you go and up. Down you go and up. Okay, so I turned to the side to show you, but without something propping me, I'll just fly over that thing and slide. But I'm gonna show you this Superman version. Put this back. Again, I'm not gonna worry about putting a mat on the floor for now, just to speed things up. It's not my favorite. I find it very difficult to do, and a lot of people with lower back issues struggle with this one. So be careful, okay? So you're gonna come down to the floor, face plant, okay? Arms forward, legs back. And then what you're gonna do is you're just gonna prop up and come down. Now, some people lift both. Some people do alternating. Totally an option. Just be careful with those because they can be really hard on the back. Know your limits, okay? All right, so that's your back extension. And last of all, external curls, okay? So I'm gonna grab these. So what's cool is bicep muscle as well as forearm, they work together, and there is different tissues along that bicep. The main medial, we'll call it tissue. External, more internal. So when we're doing those elongated curls at the beginning, really elongating that muscle, getting right centered. When we do these scoops, we are going out to this side of the bicep and shifting the muscle. And then we do external curls, we're shifting to the inside form of the muscle. It's nice working all aspects, get a nice tone and build. So we're back to this position. I'm gonna get myself some resistance, maybe not go as crazy this time. You don't need as much resistance on this as you do with the concentration curls. Look, get myself set up here. Okay, again, soft knees, slight bend, and then from, ooh, I think that's a lot of tension. My biceps are gonna hate me after, that's fine. Okay, sometimes it's fun trying to get, there we go, okay. Get yourself situated, don't slip, and you're gonna rotate your arms out, chest out, put those elbows to your sides, curl up, and then release. Curl up, feel that. Oh, that's a good resistance. I like resistant bands when it comes to bicep curls, because if they're heavy enough, you feel it through the entire curl. Look at them shake. I don't know if you can see that. Also, I already taught an hour class this morning, so my body's just a little fatigued. That's fun. That's okay. I figured I was already sweaty, so I just do this now. There you go. So that's your external bicep curl. Control the action, okay? And just keep in mind, if you feel pain in the inner part of your elbow, it's been activated. It's called golfer's elbow. Then maybe external curls are not a good option, or internal. You might feel it on one or the other. Often if I'm working with a client and they have tennis elbow, not because they play tennis, a lot of times by changing the position of the wrist or how we do a curl, all of a sudden they're not getting the pain there. So it's just something to keep in mind. You might have to change your positioning based off issues with your elbows. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that. It's quick, efficient workout, easy to follow. Make those modifications according to whatever equipment you have available to you. Absolutely. I'm glad you can join me today. We'll see you again. Bye.